What is going on, guys? Jeff Martin here alongside Josh Shernoff. Now, listen, you have this resume is endless, so I'm going to try to give him some kind of credit here, give him a nice intro that he deserves. You've seen him on the After Chat. You've seen him also on Fight TV, and also, too, now he's on his own venture here on the premier streaming network, wrestling content for you wrestling fans. Josh, first of all, congratulations here at WrestleCon, promoting, obviously, here at the table. How does it feel? I mean, when we talked last was about, I would say, 4 years ago, right? Yeah. And now, to where you are now, man, this has got to be still a surreal experience for you.
It is. It's always a surreal experience. Anytime somebody comes over and, wants an autograph or something, that side of it's crazy to me that anybody would want them. I feel like I need to pay them to get my autograph. But the behind the scenes, what we're doing now with Premier Streaming Network and Premier Wrestling, the wrestling side of things here has just blown up. We just got the international rights to MLW, which we're really excited about that. We have all the way back to Heartland Wrestling Association. We have collections of when they were developmental for WWF back in 2001. So it's been an amazing experience, and yeah, it's still surreal, after this, because like 4 years ago, I remember I was doing commentary for a little indie.
We're grinding.
Yeah,
and it's good to see somebody who's grinding, and we know what it's like to do the hard work actually pay off, man. I mean, this has got to be a tremendous feeling for you to show off your baby here at WrestleCon.
Yeah, it really is. I've been to a number of WrestleCons before. To be able to actually be here with Premier and having all of this here and having everybody walk by and people telling me how much they love Premier and they love the quality of our streaming and stuff, it means a lot because we work really hard, and it's not just me. There's an incredible team of people that work really hard to make sure that we are the number one streaming service out there in this space, and we take that very seriously, and we're really happy that people are feeling that from us.
Now, how long was this in the works? Like, obviously, you were on Fight TV. People, that's where they know you. That's where you kind of made the name for yourself. You're always on there, always doing their shows. How long was this in the works? And can you tell about the inner workings of how long you just been trying to get this off the ground?
So it's crazy. This was not in the works for very long at all. We launched January 15th. We started working on this in November. I don't even know if it was November 1st, but in November of 2022. I left Fight at the end of October. I had a great experience there, but knew it was time to move on to something else. And it was just, as soon as I left, there was this opportunity, and I just for a second was like, is that something? Am I ready to jump into this is a pretty big thing? And then was just like, you know what, that is the next step for me. That's exactly what I want to do. This opportunity was there. It was in place. I have a great partners. My brother Fred Shernoff, Paul Owen, who was from WWE Network and UFC Fight Pass, and so to be able to work with an incredible team like that, it was just an opportunity I couldn't pass up. And now things are growing. I mean, we have big announcements coming in the next few weeks. We've already had the MLW announcement. Things are just growing so fast that I know for a fact I made the right move. I know, for me, I always kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do. And like you talked about where I worked before, it was great to be able to be on camera and the stuff I did behind the scenes. But I'm that kind of personality. I had my own vision of what I really felt the fans wanted, what I really felt the app needed to be, and that's what we created. And not just my vision, the team as well, but I really am proud of what we've been able to do.
Now, there was also a chance, too, that maybe wrestling kind of maybe get oversaturated with streaming networks and everything like that, but just here, looking at the audience right here, your pitch to why Premier Sports is going to be the number one place to go to for your wrestling content.
Well, so here's the thing with oversaturation, right? If you've got an entire table and you've got day-old bread and you've got 5-day-old bread and you have freshly baked bread, but there's thousands of pieces of bread there, but there's only that one freshly baked, well, which one's going to sell? So that's kind of the idea. Is we looked at it, it's absolutely a market that some could consider oversaturated. So we looked at it and said, well, what makes us different is the quality of what we're doing, the content that we're putting out there. But really specifically, it is that quality. Because we looked and said, yeah, you can't just be like, well, we're going to go do what everyone else is doing. Well, right off the bat, they've been doing it longer. People are more familiar with the brand. So you have to look at it and say, how do we stand out? How do we make people say, I want to download another streaming app? And I feel like we actually have figured out how to do it, and it's just legitimately by giving the best product that we possibly can. I would put our app, I would put the Premier Streaming Network app up against anything else that's out there, including like a Netflix or something. Obviously, I'm not comparing our content in that regard.
Nice save, Josh.
But what I'm saying is, but as far as the actual quality of the user interface and the user experience, I would put it up there with any streaming service out there.
Well, I mean, listen, here at WrestleCon LA, obviously, you're a wrestling fan, so I got to ask you before we close this out. Obviously, everyone's here for WrestleMania weekend. Obviously, there's tremendous shows out there, but obviously everything will center around Sunday, the big one, Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Obviously, Cody spent his time on the indies, and obviously there's an appreciation to where he's come from, coming back to WWE and finishing the story. So I got to ask you, Josh, as a wrestling fan, does he finish the story, or does Roman Reigns continue this amazing run as the champion in WWE?
It's so tough. I first met Cody back in OVW in 2007. So I've watched as he's grown like everybody else. I watched him become what he is today. And I was fortunate enough to be able to be there from the beginning at AEW as well, and be able to work as you'd mentioned before, I was working all those shows and really seeing how hard Cody worked to not just build that, but build everything else up as well, his own career and his own personality. And he is just a completely different guy than when he left WWE. So on that level, I want to see that. On the other side of it, and not just because Jacob Fatu is standing over there, I originally trained with the Wild Samoans. So once upon a time, that man actually told me I was an honorary Oos. Now, I know that there's T-shirts today about somebody else, but once upon a time, I was told that. So it's really tough for me because I feel a love and connection to that Samoan dynasty and that bloodline.
I kind of put you on the spot.
I know. So Fatu's right here. So since Fatu is here, I'm going to say Roman all the way. But no, seriously, either way, both are unstoppable. I don't think the story ends for either of them. I think even if Cody wins, they got to finish the story. It's just the beginning for him. And if he doesn't, then you know what? He's going to, just like he did before, dust himself off and start again. But and Roman will just continue doing what he's doing.
Somebody you got to appreciate like Cody, though, because obviously you said the story where he left WWE, did all this, became better, learned how to do it in AEW as far as the corporate side and everything like that, and comes back to WWE to maybe finish the story. It's got to be inspiring for people like us that are trying to build something from the ground up. So obviously that's why we've got a special place in our heart for Cody, because he's done it.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. The lesson that you can learn from Cody, I think anybody, you don't have to be in the wrestling business. I think you can take that life lesson, apply it to wherever you are in life. And at the same time, I think with Roman Reigns, a couple years ago, a lot of people felt he was being shoved down their throat, hand-fed, all this. Didn't matter. If the fans aren't going to buy it, they're not going to buy it. So he had to dig deep in himself and recreate himself in a way. So I think all of that can be applied to everyone in business and what you're doing, what we're doing. And it's just, but that's the fun of it, man. I really can't pick who's going to win, and that's the fun. Yep. That's the story. That's what we're here for.
That's what I'll be watching this weekend. All right,
yep.
Josh Shernoff of the Premier Streaming Network. Dude, thank you so much, man. Again, continued success. Download the app, man. It's going to be amazing. It already is amazing. Jeff Martin for the High Spot Podcast and the Give Us a Shot Network.